Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our about sixth or seventh training. I should have looked it up before we got on here, but we are running these right till the new year. And who's been guiding us and running it and making sure we've got great topics and leadership on this call to teach you is one of the most incredible, servant, giving. I used to be Where's Waldo, but it's really her now. Where is she in the world? Because she has been jet setting and helping every person that possibly she could since February, basically. She's been living out of her suitcase, and it's now the end of November, and this woman is still going and blowing and heading off and finishing the year jet setting and helping people. And that's just what she does. And she is our fearless, epic Mama Rhino, TL. Welcome, TL.
Thank you, Tishalicious. You look so delicious in that sweater. I love the cutouts on the shoulder. Very sexy.
Thank you. It made it cheaper because it wasn't as much fabric. It was on sale.
I love it. I love it. And you're right. It's been an incredible year. We've been jet setting all over the place, yourself included. And I am here at Chez Pritchard, and it has been a fabulous 3 weeks, almost a month here with Janet and jet setting out to Saskatoon and hanging out with Carlita a bit and doing some just really allowing ourselves to get immersed inside of RX and the drops. And what's really exciting this weekend is that it's Thanksgiving weekend, but it's a Black Friday special and the drops are on sale. And so we had a chance to hang out with Tishalicious here in Calgary and do the Tishmas tour and came up with some new hashtags. And one of them was hashtag drop star. So fun. So we have some drop stars here on the call today. Valerie LaRue, who was our champion drop star, and she actually not only submitted her bikini photos and put them into the corporate circulation, but she won as one of the first prize winners to Corporate RX, and she's here to share this morning some of her tips that she's been doing online for us about promoting the drops. And Valerie has been one of our main go-to girls on Victoria Island. So it's Val from Victoria, and she has absolutely been rock solid in doing weekly meetings. Good morning, Julie. And Val has been hosting weeklies at Moxie's on Sundays with all kinds of really incredible stories. And so, Val, if you could come on and help us do the drop stars.
Okay. Hi.
So Val, first, let's start from the beginning. I mean, you were part of New Cerity, so just quickly share our story, your story, because there's some people on the call, and this will be recorded. Your history, why you got started and why you kept going, and then your profound experience with the drops.
Okay, well, I got started originally. I was at a point in my life, some of you have heard this before, where I had gained so much weight. I was as big as I was when I was pregnant. I was 171 pounds, which is not, for me, that was, it was, like I said, as big as I ever been since I was pregnant. And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't really recognize myself. I didn't recognize myself in photos. I was like, who's that person? I don't know, some of you might be able to relate to that, but I had just assumed because I was in my late 40s, I was in that point, I had gained weight and that's the new me. I didn't like it, but dieting didn't seem to work. Nothing seemed to work. And when our companies merged with New Cerity and RX, I went to a conference, and that is where I was introduced to the drops. They came in the product pack. And I was excited about them, but I didn't really know what I had my hands on. I didn't try them right away. It took me a couple weeks before I actually started them. But I noticed right away, I took a before picture, I had my daughter take a before picture of me in my bikini. And I looked at the picture, I was disgusted. Like, I was sick to my stomach. I was like, no one will ever see this picture. And then after 1 month, I lost 15 pounds in all the right places. And then when she took the after picture, I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, I've got to show people this picture now because there was such a dramatic difference. And that also inspired me to keep going. I mean, originally I just wanted to get back into some of my clothes because I didn't fit in anything in my closet anymore, and I didn't want to buy a whole new wardrobe. So I just wanted to get back into my clothes, and this inspired me. It was so easy and so quick and so effective. I thought I want to get back down to where I really believe true in my heart that I am, which is my normal weight, which was 135. And I did that in 3 months. I lost 42 pounds. I am, got my sexy little body back. So I was pretty excited about that. So I'm really excited about Christmas this year because, the little black dresses and stuff, like I'm going to be day and night going to Rob's Christmas party from last year where I barely couldn't find anything. Nothing looked good to this year. I'm like, oh geez, it's limitless. Anything I put on looks good now. So I'm so excited about that. What I did with the drops is, I stuck to the plan. You have to keep consistent with them. I set a timer because you drop them under your tongue 10 minutes before you eat. And set a timer. I drank pure clean water because to flush out the toxins that are being released from your body, you don't want to put in water with toxins in it. So I've, used the water bottle. I saw the water bottle at a conference. It wasn't available right away, but as soon as it was, I nabbed it because I was so excited for it. Like, 'cause I can take this thing anywhere. Most of you know, you can take this anywhere. You can take it to, drink from a puddle in Mexico. You can drink the water. I used it all summer camping. Um, and then sticking to the food list. There is a food guide that you get with it, and it's just everything that's approved. So it focuses on the positive. It's like, here's all the stuff you can have, and just cut out the sugars and the processed food, and it just melted away. I was so excited about it. So my transformation was very significant for me. But there are ladies out there that have kept going since March. I stopped. I've been off for 4 months now and haven't gained a pound back. But there are ladies that have continued to go and have lost like 80 pounds. And, like it's because it's homeopathic and it's healthy and it balances your body. So you can stay on it for long periods of time and lose significant amounts of weight. So everything from those person that just wants to fit in that cute dress that only needs 10 or 15 pounds, or the person that is like, quite overweight and would like to get, find their skinny self. It's been really exciting.
Very exciting. And wow, what a transformation. And I know exactly how skinny you are because you were in your daughter's closet.
Yes, I had the opposite problem. Instead of nothing fitting because they were too big, nothing was fitting because it was all too small now. So I had to steal from my 15-year-old at the time. She's 16 now. 15-year-old's closet and borrow her dress pants for when we had our Canada launch. Had no dress pants.
And that's part of the fun, is that you literally not only just get back to your regular self, but your confidence and everything else that went in. But walk us through now what you decided to do in promoting your transformation. Like, how were you approaching people, or were people coming up to you? You live in a fairly small city, Victoria, and it's on an island, so they're not going anywhere. Literally. And you work for a fairly high profile job too. You work for the government. So, there's a lot probably inside of that you had to be careful of. Walk us through that.
Yeah, so taking that before picture was the best thing I ever did. And then the 1 month picture, I did post it. I felt very nervous about doing that, but I feel very comfortable in this RX family. Or at that time I was in my new Sarity family. I felt comfortable enough to put that out there. And the response was amazing. So yes, I've had people that have been approaching me, but I've also had people say, wow, you look fantastic, what are you doing? So it's so easy. They are asking you what you're doing because it's such a significant change. I've done a few things with my before and after photos. One example was I was at the kids' eye doctors, and I was in my appointment as well. And I pulled up my photos, and I was doing up a collage, or like like a brochure, like an ad. Um, and I wasn't sure which photo to use. So I pulled up the photos and had them ready. And then when I was in there, I was like, "Can I ask you something?" As a man, as a professional for this optometrist. And I'm like, "Which photo do you think works better?" And I showed him my before, and then I showed him 2 different after pictures. I was like, "Do you like this one better or this one better?" And he was like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "I think my wife would like that."
So it was like a survey. You decided that you were going to do a survey. Which one do
Yeah.
you like better? I love
Yeah,
that. That's
I'm
brilliant.
making this ad, and I just, I wanted to know what you thought. And people are always willing to give their opinion. And it was shocking enough that they were like, "What are you doing?" And they wanted to know more. So that was really easy that way. And you can do that with my pictures as a friend. "Oh, my friend has this. I'm doing up this ad. Which ones do you like better?" It doesn't have to be you, but it's very effective when it is. Um, and I just really have been trying to keep up with follow-ups. I made a list of everyone that you did amazing video on the filing system and how to keep track of people. But I also I have a file that's all my customers as well. And I made a big list of them. And so I've been trying to like go through that list all the time to follow up. Hey, how's everything going? That's one of my weaknesses is the follow-up. I'm really good at talking to people, but then following up is my shortcoming. So that's a challenge that I've had that I've been working on, especially with the drops, because it is such a hands-on, and people need support. And so you need to be able to follow up with them, a couple days later, well, of course, as soon as they get the drops, explain the drops. Even though it's all written in there, you still need to explain it to them. um, and follow up, see how they're doing. And, if they're cheating, if they're like, "Oh, well, I haven't been sticking to the plan," that's okay. It's never too late to, hop back on the horse. And, there's going to be challenges. But the great thing is, don't let it totally derail you. And that's why I always use that hint about setting a timer for the drops and making sure you take them, right? And being
I
consistent.
like that.
Yeah. So I've had great success, and there's been a few sales on. Nucerity's pulled the drops out of the hat a couple times, and that has always been really successful for me because everybody loves a sale. So that sale is on again this weekend. So everybody's excited about that. I've even had a couple of people that got some last week and are like, "Darn!" I'm like, "Well, get some more. Get next month's supply."
Good tip.
Yeah. So it's been quite the whirlwind roller coaster, but it's great. I mean, my business is doing really well for it, and I'm excited. I'm excited for as I say, loving life and giving back, and I'm just really enjoying giving back to people and helping them. And um, so yeah, just make a list, follow up. It's the same sort of thing with that you hear through normal networking, and approaching people. Use my pictures. There's so many wonderful pictures out there of our friends and family that people because they are so effective. So you're gonna see those amazing transformations. So if you don't have your own transformation story yet, you know, what's R&D, Robin Duplicate.
That's fabulous. Tish, do you have anything you want to ask Val?
I love your story, Val, and I love that you're so freely allowing people to share your photo and share your story, because not everybody has that success story. I know the minute you kind of cheat a little, you're falling back 3 days. So if you're cheating every second day thinking, "Well, I was good yesterday, so I'll have a little today," you're probably not going to move forward with the drops. Do you feel that? Because I have some people that are struggling with using the drops, and I keep saying you got to be strict. As you know, they give us a great variety of foods to choose from. How are you supporting people that are like that?
um, Well, I go revert back to my story, and I say, well, I was very strict with the list, and I try and encourage them that there's a couple great websites out there with recipes and things like that, so we can use those. Or I'll take the recipe and I'll actually send it to them personally and say, "Oh, if you're really craving bread, here's a great bread recipe. Thank you, Janet." And or the muffins, I'm like, get the shakes, because one thing I did use is chocolate breakfast. I use these shakes, the Pure Nourish and the Chocolate Power Boost, and those together with the chocolate in there, it's so decadent that it makes you feel like you're cheating already. So it's a treat without a cheat. So you're still proud of you. You had that lovely, chocolate craving is satiated, but you're still proud of yourself because you didn't do it. You know that there's, you know, it's good for you. It's on the approved food list. Um, and you can use those to make like chocolate muffins and things like that too. You can use the shake powder and bake with it, and without any sugar and without any, of all the negative oils and things like that in it. So um, I also have been recommending people, just get a big vat of coconut oil and use that for cooking. Just don't use it, just use the coconut oil for cooking. Um, and they have them at Costco, the big ones, but you know, I don't really like to recommend one place over another because, that's that my background in government. You're like, oh, I can't really commit and and um, and promote one place over another, especially because some people, they don't like the idea of Costco because it's a big superstore, right? But if you're wanting to save money, you can get a big vat of it there, and it's organic, and it's mine's lasted me forever. I mean, I had it even before I started the drops, but I recommend that. I
So
try
it's
and give
just
them
about
tips.
supporting them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. I love it. And I think that's the key, right? To anything we've done. I mean, Skincerity was pretty self-explanatory. Roll it on, sleep, wash it off, and you'll see changes. But we can't control what people put in their mouths when we're not with them, right? So there's so many more variables when we're working with ingestible products and making promises. And so I love that you said you just went back to your story, because stories don't lie. If it worked for you, it will work for everybody if they just stick to the plan. And
Yeah.
I'm a success and a failure because I did really good on the plan and I was so diligent. And then summer hit, and I was pretty good till about the end of August. And then a move happened and there's higher stress, started drinking wine again and started eating garbage with that, and kind of creeped up a little of what I'd lost. And unfortunately, like you, I didn't stick to the plan where you can go off the drops and just keep eating like you're eating and things aren't going to creep up. I went back to my old habits. And so now I'm refocusing again and starting over. And I think that's what's important. People can know that, it works if you work the plan, but it also fails if you fail the plan. So I love it, Val. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. I'm glad to help.
We love you, Val, and I'm so happy that you got brave, super brave, and shared those pictures because they went viral. And congratulations on your win again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was a shocker. I didn't expect to win, but
Yeah.
you're very happy. And, again, that more exposure just helped out the business, helped out helping other people. And that's what I'm here for.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Tish, we have Sweet Julie Sweet.
Awesome. Can you unmute, Julie, or do you need me to?
Yep. No,
Oh,
I think I'm good.
Oh, there she is. Look how cute you are in your hat.
Yeah, trying to stay warm out here in the Maritimes.
And you're in the crush. You're
I
crushing
am.
it in the crush. I love
Yeah.
it.
Taxi mom.
Okay, fabulous. And so, Julie, your transformation and your support on social media has been tremendous. And thank you so much for doing those trainings with us about social media. But you have a lot of tips on the drops, and you actually have quite a few friends that have been super successful with the drops. So start from the beginning and tell the story of like when you started in the drops, because there's going to be people that we're going to share this recording with that won't know who you are and where you are.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for inviting me to share my story. So mine's a bit different than Val's, and I have struggled with my weight my entire life. But to add to that as well, not only did I struggle with my weight, but I also struggled with my health. So I've had autoimmune disease since I was 14, and I have ulcerative colitis. And I can remember like thinking to myself, like, why can't I just be thin? I'm so sick, but I'm also heavy. And it was tough. Like, it's tough to be in that spot. And anyways, I'm getting emotional with it. So, yeah. Um, so I'm really grateful that I have RX because it has made a huge difference. And I feel like I'm healthy again. And so it's I think the one thing that I've learned, and this was came from Laura Sales, is that, you know, us being overweight is a symptom. It's a symptom of us not being healthy. It's not because we eat too much. It's not because we don't exercise enough, because I did all those things. You know, I'm very active. I've done so many different diets, you guys, like so many. And I've lost weight before by being really restrictive. But as soon as you stop being restrictive, you put the weight back on. So it's super frustrating. So this just feels so much different to me. The drops are like, it's kind of funny that I'm going to use this analogy because I'm sitting in my driver's seat in my car. But I feel like I'm in the driver's seat for the first time. And even when I get off track and I have something that's not on the Cylinder Eyes approved list, I get right back on track again. So that's really important. And I think that all comes back to my hormones getting regulated. I've been able to reduce the inflammation in my stomach, and that was thanks to Elite. So that came into my life before the drops ever did. And I started to get healthy with my gut health. So now that that's healed and my hormones are regulating, and I just feel like a new woman. I'm This year, it's kind of funny because other people are seeing that change in me. I got weighed this morning. I'm down 28 pounds. So I lost 2 more pounds since like yesterday. It's awesome. And then I decided to measure myself, and I'm down 20 inches. And
Wow.
eight of those are off my stomach. So
Wow.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. So I feel like it's going to be a bit longer journey for me, but I think it's going to be permanent. And that's how I feel. It's like I'm having permanent health changes, and you can't put a price on that, right? So the other thing that people are noticing about me is that, like, yeah, I've lost 28 pounds, which is a lot of weight to lose. I still have ways I want to go, but what people are noticing about me is how vibrant I feel. Um, you know, I'm out there playing hockey, and all the women, I think I've been on the ice for 7 weeks now, and every single Tuesday I get a round of applause from my ladies at hockey, and they're like, "You're hungry for that puck this year. Like, what is going on?" And I feel so good. Like, I've always been hungry for the puck, but I just felt like I just didn't have the energy I have now. So I have all this like energy flowing through me, and I think it's just because I'm so healthy. And the greens, you guys, the Giving Greens, if anyone on this call has not tried them yet, um, you're gonna love them, because with ulcerative colitis, I think I have a lot of nutritional deficiencies, and because of those nutritional deficiencies, I think my body was like in a, really in that state where I couldn't burn fat, I couldn't get fat burning very easily without being super restrictive. Now that I'm getting all the nutrition I need, it's like my body's just happy, so happy. And I take the Giving Greens. I take 2 doses a day. I brought back as many as I could from Vegas, and I've been just like on them. And my kids are taking them because none of us eat enough vegetables. Like, it's hard to, right? Like when you're busy. And I find a huge salad like a little overwhelming to eat because I'm a really slow eater, and it's just like so overwhelming. So now I'll get into like how I'm sharing on social media because I think that people don't want to be sold to. That's the biggest thing. So we get a Black Friday sale and we start posting things all over the place, and I don't think it's very effective. But I think that if we can share our stories, that's super, super effective. So yesterday I did a Facebook Live last night. I still find them hard to do. You have to put yourself into your comfort zone in order to do them. but I decided to do like 3 different Facebook Lives for Black Friday. And so yesterday I talked about hormones. Today I'm going to talk about my gut health and inflammation and how that affects your weight loss, like, or lack of weight loss. And then I'm going to talk about like eating the right food and doing the right exercise to get you to lose weight. So all those things are like me sharing with people what the benefits are with the drops, like what benefits they're going to have, because that's not salesy. It's very attractive to people. So you're going to start doing that attraction marketing. And if you can share those tips with people, and then at the end of it, talk about the Black Friday special that you have or the Christmas special that you have. But first lead with the tips, the benefits, what's in it for them. And I think that that's the more effective way to go about it. So people start to come to you. So I did that Facebook Live last night, and I thought it was kind of fitting that you asked me to do this today, because I thought when I posted it last night, I didn't have anybody really watching it. I had like 4 likes and there wasn't a lot of people watching. It was kind of a little bit later in the evening, but I woke up this morning to like several conversations with people private messaging me wanting to know more information about the drops. So, it definitely, I think, is the smart way to go about trying to market your products to people, if that makes sense.
It does, and that's such a wonderful tip to always lead with the benefits in your story. And thank you for your emotion. I actually started to cry, and I know there's a lot of people that struggle. Yes, They struggle. Tish, do you want to make some comments?
I love that you're literally in the driver's seat. I think that is a great analogy, that the drops have given you the power back. And I think that's important for everybody, and that you do fall off, but you get back on. And I think I've tried every diet too. And I was never heavy as a kid. In fact, I was scrawny. And I got into post-secondary school, and I lived on potato chips and Kraft Dinner because that's all I could afford. And I gained weight. And I struggled with weight since early 20s. And I've tried everything, and I've spent everything on it. And I think when I got on a diet and I failed in my mind, I quit, and I never went back to it because I already failed. But I find with the drops, because every day is a new day, right? And we're going to have some failures, and that's okay, because I have to do it for whatever reason. My story is my story, and somebody else is going to be struggling, so I can say, I relate. I fell off too, but now I'm back on. And I love that you shared that. I loved how real that you were. I love that you're still not comfortable with Facebook Lives, because I've been working on those too. And I got to tell you, the other day I did one, and I made it so that only I could see it after I was finished, because I wasn't sure if it made sense. And I just reshared it last night so that everybody could see it, because when I went back, I'm like, well, that was stupid. That was actually a pretty good one. So we're so critical on ourselves. And the course that Janet and I took said, don't watch your stats. So what that means is, who cares who's watching it? Who cares who likes it? It's the point is you're doing it, and you're going to be consistent, and you're going to, you have your plan. And I love that. And don't be salesy, because people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold.
Yeah. And I love this tip. And I keep thinking to myself, you're going to be a little bit shit before you're a big hit.
I love it. And you know what? Here's another thing that Janet and Alfreda and I learned during our challenge for the Facebook Lives is, a lot of people will not comment and like on there, but if they've ran into us, or they'll private message and say things. So you never know who's watching. So keep doing what you're doing.
I did one the other day on my hair straightener, and it was actually fun, because it was just talking about a hair straightener, right? And all of them should be fun for us, but it was a good lesson for me. But it was funny. A couple of days later, I ran into friends while I'm going about my life, and my friend Judy was like, I started to watch your Facebook Live, and I was at Sobeys, and she's like, when I go back home, I'm going to finish watching it, because I was really enjoying it. And I was just like people are, they enjoy watching you when you can just be real. And yeah, and it's such a powerful way to share. the Facebook Live that I did from last night, I actually have a new contact. I'm friends with her on Facebook. I don't know how, and she's from the UK. And now we're in
Wow.
this huge talk about the fact that she also has had a gastric band put in, and she lost all these weight before on shakes, and then she put it back on. She started to put it back on, and she got scared and she went and had the gastric band, and she wished she hadn't got the surgery. And we're just having this really meaningful conversation, and it all came from that Facebook Live that I was put my brave pants on and said, I'm just going to do it, right? So we can help a lot of people if we get out of our own way and just be brave and just put ourselves out there and go for it.
I love it. You're crushing it, baby. You are totally crushing it. Tish, I know that this has been a really empowering Saturday training. I'm super excited about what's coming on for next week. Is December already, and we have a special guest.
We do. There's a lot happening actually next week, because I believe they're releasing the Giving Greens next week, is my understanding, December 3rd. But yes, on December 1st, next Saturday, Nusarity's sweetheart has agreed to come on and spend some time with us. So anybody who needs a little Melissa Chambers fix, be on this call, because she's going to be on here sharing her heart, her soul, teaching us about mindset and getting set up for the new year coming up here. So I hope that you will all come back, join us on this call. I wanted to mention before we go, TL, because a lot of people saw Julie and Carlita's live training that they did the other day on how to set up an event page. Val's like, yeah. And so before we go, a lot of people were wondering, how do we do this? Do we set it, private? Do we set it public? How do we invite people to this? So before we go, can Julie just come off mute again and just kind of give everybody, your thoughts on it?
Okay. The event. So about how to set that up, that final step. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. If you're just doing an event from your public profile, I would say definitely keep it open, open to the public, so that your friends can invite people as well, because you can actually ask them to do some of the inviting for you. So if you keep it open, that will work better, I think. And what was the other question, Tish?
And so how are you inviting people to that?
I usually private message them and invite them, rather than just adding them to the event, because I know for myself, I get added to events all the time and I didn't even know that I was added to them. Like, they'll be the day of the event. It might pop up on my notifications. So if you just set it up and you don't personally invite people, they're probably not even going to see it. It's not that they're not interested in going or paying attention to what you have going on, but they might not even know that you added them. If they're busy. Oh, am I back? Sorry, I had a phone call come in. If they're busy the day that you sent them the ad just from the event and you didn't actually invite them, you just sent the invite through the event, they may not even see it. So
I'm glad that you said that, because some people were saying setting up their event pages and just going to invite everybody. And I honestly dislike when people add me to events and then they start tagging me in posts and stuff, but they haven't asked me permission. It's still, I think, important that who you really want to see that information gets asked by you and say, can I add you to the group? And when they give you the yes, then it feels more accepting. And then, it's respectful, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you can do you can make it quick for yourself and do like a generic kind of invite, like type it up and send it. Or the other thing you can do, and this is a really handy tip, is that you can press on the voice clip. You have 60 seconds on Facebook Messenger to do a voice clip. And then once you get it, you can actually do it to yourself. So just set up the message, send it to yourself, practice with the voice clip until you get one that you really like. And then you can forward that voice clip to whatever friends you want to forward it to. So that's a quick way to do it. Will save you a bunch of time. and it makes it more personal, and they get to hear your voice and your excitement and all of those things. So that's a little tip.
I didn't know about that.
Mm-hmm.
Good
And
info.
you can just save that. You could even make a message to yourself that with a couple of your teammates, and you guys could bounce ideas off each other, on how the invite clip sounds. And you can even use the video. There's the camera button, and if you bring up the video with the filters and stuff, you can record like a 1-minute video and you can send that to people. So I think that's even another step to it that makes it more personal.
Wow, I love it. I know the invites that I've been doing said, most companies this time of the year offer different promotions. My company's no different. I have some great ones that might interest you. Would it be okay if I add you to my event page? Take a look around. If there's something that interests you, great. Maybe you know somebody it might be for. If it's not for you, feel free to leave. And is it okay if I add you? And just to everybody that I wanted to invite. So just make it simple, right? And give people the permission to not only join, but they know they're not stuck there going, oh my God, she's going to try and sell me something in this group. And then post your favorite videos, post your before and afters you want to use, post the specials. And I love that if you make your own event, you can also post your own Buy Newcerity site or your own replicated website, so people just can go and purchase from your store. Yeah.
And a lot of people, like, if they're open to what you have, it's a great way to get the info to them.
Absolutely. And here's what's interesting. This whole concept that you guys created, I love, because even though we have a promo right now, I can't remember who I was talking to, Laura Sanchez. Because we have so many brands now, you can pick a different brand and pick different people and only promote that brand. So you can keep repeating and touching on them 7 times with a different brand rather than going, do you want to see all my products? You say, you know what, we've got really great nutritional supplements right now. Could I invite you to a page and just show the nutritional supplements? And then a month or 2 later, invite those same people and just show, the Revive products, or, what a great concept, because we have so many brands now.
Yes.
Hey?
That's good.
Love
fun
it.
With that.
Yeah, the event pages I think will be great. TL, there, I just went on a rant page there, and I hope you didn't have to leave, that I just made your call longer.
No, I love those tips. I didn't know that about the event page, and I think that's a really brilliant thing with the voice clips and then the video. What an amazing connection, and it also shows too that you're really personable and you care. So yeah, way better than just adding people onto a page. Thank you so much for that tip, Julie.
You're welcome.
So
awesome.
TL, next week
good.
We're back.
Yes.
Think you're lining up. Also, I think the Boss Wallaces will be coming up here on one of these event weekends too.
Well, we're hoping. They dashed off. They're going to be gone for a month. They're touring around Asia right now and then Europe. And so I'm trying to catch up with them. The only time that they had available was the one that we already booked with Melissa Chambers. But if we don't have them finishing off this year, we'll have them kicking off the new year. Our Chair 3, Boss Wallace and Martine Marvelous. She is definitely in connection with me, so I wish them all happy, safe travels. And next week, it's Mighty Melissa.
Absolutely. So go out there, everybody. Share about our wonderful specials this weekend and how you can help people. Get on and do some Facebook Lives to create some intrigue. Never talk about the actual name of your product on the Facebook pages. Remember that. And a tip, before you go live, if you haven't done lives, go and love 20 people's posts and comment on some of them, because it gets your page in the algorithm. So there's a tip for you. And don't delete it 20 times like Janet did. Just go out there, lead from your heart, and put it out there and be real, be vulnerable, and you're going to get way more responses. So I love you, TL. Thanks, Julie. Thanks, Val, for sharing. And
so much,
everyone, for joining. Somebody asked where the recording will be. It will be on the new training tools later today. I'll be able to get it uploaded. Unfortunately, last week's training didn't work on my phone because I had my headset in, so there's no sound to it. So we did lose last week's training. Sorry, should have been on. That'll teach you. That'll learn you. Anyway, so thanks, everybody. Have a great day.